Welcome to Box Talk, Michee. This is a show where I speak to our clients and we uncover their stories, unravel their life, and then talk about their company specifically and do a little bit about the packaging segment as well. So, welcome. And I'd like to ask you, sir, how are you feeling today? How's everything going?
First of all, thanks for having me. This is great. I appreciate being here. Love the call. You called me. You wanted me to come on. I was like, yeah, of course.
Yes.
But I'm feeling great. Yesterday we had a photo shoot with some of the products. Is like we're getting ready to get on Kickstarter here pretty soon. But I'm feeling good. Feeling great about everything, and can't wait to talk about everything you have ready today.
Yeah, I want to let the viewers know that Michee Tshimanga is here with me. He is the owner and founder of Phera.
Yes.
Phera is I think you can tell me better what Phera is, but I'll tell you what I've done with my research on. It is a customized, it is a product, it is a cleaning supply company, but it's very peculiar. It's sustainable. It has sustainable bottles, and it uses your it has the it uses more of the you know what? I don't think I have the word that I'm looking for. Maybe you can explain better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, great start there. With sustainability, so we started as a residential cleaning business, and then kind of there's a long story, and I don't mind sharing later, but I just focus on the product. Is we went on this hunt for like a year and a half looking for like a better cleaning solution. So two things that we needed to solve was, greenwashing of like ingredients, when things are quote unquote eco-friendly, and then also just single-use plastic, because when you're cleaning people's house, you're noticing what they have in their trash and thrown out. So it's like, like people's trash is just filled with a bunch of plastic. So as we're doing this, it was also trying to be sustainable and making sure that we're not gonna, by bringing a product to the table, that we're not gonna contribute to a problem and hurt the planet. So we decided to go with a reusable bottle, and then after a lot of research, we ended up finding a awesome ingredient that's called soap nut berry. That's our hero ingredient. That's kind of what we do everything around. It's used in places like Nepal and India. It's been used for like a very long time. I think I discovered it in Nepal. In Nepal, they use it to clean gold. And it's very natural. It goes on tree. Yeah, yeah. They use, so when they find gold, that's what they use to clean gold, and it's an awesome cleanser. So we kind of rallied around that, and we did not want to use super chemically oriented ingredient. We wanted to use ingredient that you can use in your kitchen. So we use ingredient like orange peel powder, um, oatmeal powder, colloidal oatmeal, and stuff like that. Just to kind of be centered around being super earth friendly and just being upfront about the ingredient, instead of like naming things like synthetic this, synthetic that. We wanted something that was truly earthly pride. If you look in your cleaning products and you see orange peel powder, you're like, oh, I could, that's something I peel off my orange.
All right.
So yeah.
There's some I can't even pronounce on regular generic products, but for your products, you can reuse the bottles, but you can also it comes with packs of detergent, right? You could keep adding it with water and keep making
Yes.
your own cleaning product. For example, a you can make your own Clorox. You can make your own Fabuloso for the floor, for the kitchen counters, etc. Can you tell me how that works?
Yeah, so right now what we're focusing on launching is an all-purpose cleaner and a hand wash and laundry detergent. Just those are going to be our main three. We do have other formulas, like you mentioned, like floor cleaners, kind of like Fabuloso, which is has a lot of harmful chemical, but we won't get into that. But so basically what works is that you get a package that you guys kind of helped me make, So I have my package. All you do is once you get your refill, which is a compostable package, so no plastic, compostable. It's gonna be biodegradable. All you gotta do is rip it open. You have your bottle with you. You dump it in. Mix it with water. With a little bit of water, just like that.
How much do
And
you have to fill it up top, all the way up top, or
yeah, you can fill all the way at top and leave some space, and then once you screw it up with your spray here, you have nice design looking bottle. We went with the neutral color just so it can fit in anybody's kitchen, and then you have your cleaner, and you're ready to go. So
and that's
nothing
it? It
complicated.
nothing complicated, and then you keep on refilling until
Yeah, yeah. So no, and then so when you open your counters in your house, you don't have like a bunch of plastic falling out. It's just like your one bottle, and then you just keep refilling it, and then you save on shipping and stuff like that. This is just great for the planet. And you guys have done such an amazing job with this stick packs, like biodegradable, and it's awesome. We love it.
that's
We love the
what
packaging
we
to do.
do.
Yeah.
For sure. And it not only saves the planet, it also saves space in your cabinets, in your kitchen.
Yes.
Just one bottle designated for each purpose, and have some packets on the side, and then you just rip it open, put it in, mix it with water, and keep on going. That's such a great idea, and I think I'm really excited for Phera's launch. I just want to know, you haven't launched your company yet, and you were talking about a Kickstarter as well. Could you
Yes.
tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes. So the beautiful thing that I love about like this country, because I'm an immigrant, if you can't tell my accent, but I'm from the Congo, right? So you
God
don't
bless,
you come. Go ahead.
bless the United States.
Yeah. So, you come from America, you learn a lot and you have these great ideas and you want to push them forward. But sometimes with story like ours, is like you may not have the capital or the need to be able to buy like a big inventory. So that's the only thing that's kind of been like a hurdle for us at this point. So we have our prototype, we have some of our products, and we're currently working on going on Kickstarter, and the goal is for us to be able to get some pre-orders or some pre-launch to be able to raise enough money to finally bring our first load of inventory. And that's kind of where we are right now. I think that's going up in like October 28th. Um, but that's kind of where we are right now, which is with the opportunity this country provides, and having an idea and trying to push it forward. I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the Kickstarter uh, pre-launch and kind of seeing where everything is going to go.
Well, Michee, how for those who might not know yet, can you tell the story behind Phera? I mean, how long ago did you start Phera, and did you get the idea of Phera? Because you haven't launched it yet. And what
Yes.
the how was the journey like?
The journey is crazy, man. I mean, it's so my background personally is in sales and finance. I worked, for a company like State Farm, Fidelity. Kind of had this like thing that happened in my life, and I'm like, I had to make some changes. And I found myself, I had an opportunity to start something because I didn't have a job anymore, and the easiest thing I could do to put food on the table was a residential cleaning business. I need a broom, a vacuum, and a few napkins and a cleaner, and I'll come clean your house. I'll get my mom, my sister in a car, and let's go make a little bit of money. So that's kind of how it started, right? And yeah, and it was, but to be honest, like I hate cleaning. Like I hate doing dishes. I hate it all.
Yeah.
but I I was stuck in this thing where it's like, yo, start doing it. And I started falling in love with cleaning, which I didn't know. So that started like 2 years ago. And then about 7 months into the our journey, my mom started losing her nail. And we didn't know why it was forming. We were using a product that was marketed as an eco-friendly product, but for some reason it was kind of stripping oil from all of us on our hands, like the natural oil that it strips. And then it started hurting my mom's nails. And she ended up losing two of her nails, right? And this was supposed to be an eco-friendly product. So we kind of dove deep into some of like things that are marketed as eco-friendly but not really good for you, good for your health. And if you have sensitive skin and whatever, like you don't know what it's gonna do to you. And we ended up finding out kind of the hard way what happened to our mom. So in the process of that, I wanted to be able to kind of replace a cleaner, just kind of change vendors. But everywhere we went, there was always like hidden words like fragrance, and it's like, okay, what does that really mean? Or like synthetic or just eco-friendly or buffer or something like that. So it's like when they have those keywords, I'm trying to figure out like, what do you
And
really
what
mean by
makes
synthetic?
you like
Yeah. Like, yeah, what really goes in? Like, I just don't want the word. I want to be able, if you can explain it to me in like layman's term, like I'm in sixth grade, it's probably not good for me.
I mean,
Right?
what led to that statement that they're making about being organic or safe or non-toxic? What what research went behind those claims? So you dug deep into that. You did some research, and what did you find out?
Yeah, so what the one thing that I ended up finding out that's really shocking is that the cleaning industry, as far as like cleaning products, is not regulated at all. Like I'm launching this and it's gonna go into someone's house, and pretty much all we have is you have to trust what I'm telling you and research what's really in it. Like I don't have to submit this into like the FDA or whatever. Like cleaning products are just not regulated. So as long as I can, as an example, as long as I can put like 1% of something into my product that's good, I can call it eco-friendly. And by law, if I have smart lawyers that can word around it, I can be
Right.
safe. Yeah,
Very
you know,
right? Ambiguous. Like, for example, if you put, if you, just like you said, uh, by the way, are you still, is your end still, you got phone call, did you?
I did. I'm so sorry
Okay,
about that.
no worries. I just want to, it happens a lot, but we're still recording. So you said that even if the companies, what they do is they have even 1% of of whatever they're trying to achieve, even if they put, even if they use, for example, in their ingredients, they use 1% of the ingredients are, let's say, organic or something good,
Yeah.
then they are legally able to make that claim of organic, even if it's 1%. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So they can tell the story around that 1%. That's true. So the word legally is like, because it's not regulated, and these are things that we're also finding out. I don't want to like say at 1,000%, but even I found myself in places where we had an issue, and I'm going to share a personal story with me. We had an issue when we first started creating our formula. Soap knot does not dissolve as well as everything else, so we had to figure out a way to include it into our formula. So when we started doing it, it was hurting a lot of the pumping mechanism that we had to come out, or for like our hand soap. And we went to like ChatGPT, we went to different formulation places, we went to ask different questions, and the answer came to us that if we could only put about 1% of soap knot in our formula, we can still tell our story around soap knot, and if we can phrase it well in a safe note, we'll be fine. those are the answers that we got. Obviously, that's not what we ended up doing, but from people who are, I would say, in chemistry or what, or are way smarter than me, even Chat GPT, they're able to say that that is okay to do, and that goes around just to show how much the cleaning industry just isn't regulated. I can go with that 1% and create a story around it and make it my hero ingredient and sell that to you.
I mean, it's funny how there are legal loopholes that you can go through, but the loopholes that you have, you can bypass those loopholes legally. But the thing is that after that, when you're making a narrative around that loophole that you just passed, then the question of ethics comes in, and you can go however you want to go with that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? There's no legality in ethics. So people, brands, companies, they can do whatever, say whatever they want, basically, basically whatever they want.
Yeah, and I mean, I have to say that I think we're old enough and we've been around the sun long enough where it's like we do know that that stuff does kind of happen here and there with big companies and stuff like that. Like those are not things that at least I don't want to speak for you, but I'm sure we've heard stories of like, oh, like knowingly doing something that wasn't as ethically right, but because the ability is there to market it a certain way, you do it. And then sometimes we still go and buy that product. Sometimes that product is still on the shelf and we still go and purchase it and still use it on a regular basis.
Yeah,
And
sometimes
that's just,
our marketing, the marketing appeals to us in some
yeah,
situations. No, it's a
yeah,
very topic too. It's a very philosophical question too. Like if you're legally allowed to do something, then should you or shouldn't you? I mean, that's a very that you could go pretty.
yeah,
You can contemplate on that on a
yeah.
level for sure.
That is a very deep question. I think that goes down to like, who are you in the core? In your core, like, because I'm sure we can agree that there are things that might be legal to do, but at some point you just look at like ethically and just who you are and values that you carry, and being able to say that I could, but should I? Those are, and then that really comes down to who you are, what you believe in, and am I willing to and I believe sometimes it just depends on the movement, on the trend, right? So if it's trendy to be eco-friendly, or if it's trendy to be biodegradable, like, can I just figure out a way to jump on this wave and just make as much money as I can and wait for the next wave? And I think some people do that, and I don't know if I'm in a place to like judge everyone, but as you said, it's a really deep question, and I think it comes down to just who are you in your core, and what you believe in, what are your values, and what route are you willing to take, and kind of go that way.
Of course, yeah. That is a very yeah. Who are you at your core? It does kind of begs begs the question who you are and what you plan to do. But now you got me thinking about who I am at my core just now. I was, am I
Yeah,
doing
we
that?
should do a different podcast about that.
Yeah. That's a total different story. So, Michelle, the challenges that you faced when you started Phera, I know you're still doing Kickstarter. Uh, Tell me about Kickstarter. You started it, and how is that going for you?
It's going well. So after, uh, to be quite honest, I thought that will be launched and ready to go right now. But one thing that we've ran into was just like the reality of creating a product that's not in the market yet is not what's like glamorized. There's a lot of sleepless night. There's a lot of, wow, we thought we were 90%, but we only have 30% of this thing figured out. and kind of going back and refining it and kind of going forward. And I think the challenges for us, like I said, just came down to, okay, now we have what we want, and funding was just like where we kind of got stuck, and trying to be creative about it. And the Kickstarter was the platform that we think can allow us to do pre-orders with prototypes that we have. And we're currently we're trying to work with certain influencers. Like I said, we had our photo shoot yesterday for the Kickstarter, so I can't wait to see how all that does come out. And once that all come out, like I'm hoping that we have a great turnout, and we have pledges, and that our story is compelling, which I believe in our story. But there's still that ability to be able to, someone spends about a year and a half trying to come up with a product, and is limited to a 3-minute video and one page to get you to buy it. So you
Exactly.
can't tell. Yeah, you can't tell everything on that, but I'm hoping that everything that we choose to put on that is able to move people, move family, because we really want to empower people to be able to bring products that are safe not only for them, for their health, but also safe for the planet as well.
All right, as well. It's great that you're using that you're collaborating with influencers, because a lot of there's a couple of my clients that I've had on the show, they've collaborated with influencers too. And the funny thing is that it works. It works. People it resonates with your customers. It resonates with your clients. And
Yes.
if you have if you have a familiar personality attached to your product, then it resonates
Yeah.
with that. Plus,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I think your Kickstarter went well. I'll definitely put the link down in for the show, for the Kickstarter, so you can get as many pledges as you can. And
Awesome. Thank
yeah,
you.
you're killing two birds with one stone. Basically, you're
I'll take
you're,
it.
you're
Yeah.
helping the environment. Plus, you're also you have clean products, organic products, clean and
Yes.
safe to use products. And you said that it started off as a personal problem with your dear mother, as
Yes.
she was having a nail issue with the products that she was using. Funny thing is that there's so many clients that have been on the show, and they've talked about how they started their company just to solve a personal problem.
Yes.
Can you believe it? They solved a
Yes.
personal problem. It was for I mean, there were two skincare brands. One, from the top of my head, there was one client. She had her son had skin issues, so she was like, you know what? I want to go to the drawing board and figure out a way to fix her son's skin issues. So she came up with a product, and people liked the product, and uh, her friends and her family, they liked the product. They said, "Hey, we want more." There was a client, her grandmother had, I think, eczema or psoriasis. She created a product, and then that product helped her grandmother with her psoriasis or eczema. I mean, that's a pattern that I'm seeing, and I think solving a personal problem does emanate outwards towards solving other people's problems too.
Yeah.
And that's a that's a I think that's a motivation. I
Yeah.
think that's motivation.
That's awesome. I'm glad you shared all that, because I believe, and a lot of the people that you've mentioned, and I've watched some of your episode. It's like we're talking about regular everyday people, right? That have to be committed to an idea for about a year, 6 months to try to solve a problem, right? So it's not, yeah, it's not people who are going to like a venture capitalist or like a PE
No,
bank and getting, um, getting like money up front to like try to build the product. So the only motivation that can really keep someone like me to be crazy enough to be able to say, I'm going to sacrifice 12 months of my life to chase this is that at some point it has to be personal. If it's not personal, we do need resources. It's not personal. At some point, you're going to be like, what am I getting out of this? Right. So that's what differs from like the person who goes to a PE bank and raises $50 million and goes and do something and sells a product, different to like a mom, a son, a brother, a sister who's like, I want to solve this for us. And as they're doing it, you end up realizing kind of when you're in a journey that, oh, if I'm having this problem, someone else may have this problem. And then you send your bottle to someone and they ask you questions like, oh, I want one. How much are you selling? And you're like, oh, shoot, I can make two. I can keep one for myself and give it to, my friend Ben. And then Ben tells his friend. And then everybody starts asking you, when are you going to, and then it's like, oh, shoot, I may have something in my hand here that
Yeah.
people may be interested in. And then that's what sparks that. But I truly believe it's like, because there has to be a motivating factor. So for some of us who are just regular people, it's like, because you don't have that, again, venture capital backing you, or angel investor, the only thing that's going to keep you up at night is like, this problem is bothering me. I have time in my hand. I have the internet. I have my phone, and I have a pen and a piece of paper, and I have ability to think. Now let me start thinking about a solution because I don't want to deal with this anymore. Once you put your mind into that, more times out of not, you end up finding yourself in a place where it's like, oh shoot, I may have just done something.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, that's where that personal story kind of comes and make a difference.
You feel like, hey, listen, you know what? I might be onto something. I mean, my friends are like the product. They're paying it. They're purchasing it. I think this might be worth my time. And
Yes,
in your case, Phera, it's worth your time.
yes,
You have a great Kickstarter going on, and there's people who are willing to put in the pledges and
yes.
get you to where you want to be. And while you're doing that, they also get something out of it, and
Yes.
that's how it works. So, what was your what was how many products do you have currently? Uh,
So right now we have products we have four products. We have a wool dryer ball that's just a complimentary for the laundry detergent. We have the powder laundry detergent. I'm gonna grab it here. Um uh again, Ariel, again, you guys have done so great with the packaging. I like I'm getting so many compliments from it.
Maya was your account manager. She was the one who told me about you, and I'm like, you know what? I got to get him on the show. This is so great. I mean, there's there's a market satur there's a market there is a good market for that, and I think sustainability and organic cleaning supplies is a booming industry, and I
Yes.
think you are very well capitalizing on it. And I think that would be a good Kickstarter campaign. And the packaging is beautiful. I didn't want to
So,
rip it,
oh, you
but
want me to rip it open? I can.
no, 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 don't do that.
uh, so funny thing about Maya is like when we first started talking, she was really awesome. But this is one of the things that I say, it's like building a product has taught me. I think has made me like a better person just in general because it's even taught me how to like deal with people. I think I've given Maya so many headaches. I think at some point I was like, how is this lady still keeping up with me with a great attitude? And then even when I was like mad about a situation or a problem, that I couldn't figure out a situation, like especially with like packaging, because packaging is very important, right? It's like you build this product and then you're gonna have to find a vessel that's gonna have to carry that product into someone's home, and someone has to be attracted to that packaging to grab it off the shelf or off your website and stuff like that. And when the folks like interact with your products, they interact with the packaging. So there's a lot that goes into that.
I see. the packaging, and what does that attract me? And it does,
Yeah,
or it does.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. All that. And Mayo is just a great person to like walk in this process with, because there was a lot of, from our design team canceling a design, from redoing a design for a rebranding, because my cleaning company started as Dust and Sweep. And then we ended up wanting to create a product called Prevalent. And then we ended up finding, oh, that's such a long name. Let's go to Phera, which is
what does
uh,
Farah mean?
yeah, so Farah, I'm original. So I speak three languages. I speak French, Lingala, and English. So I wanted to have something. Just I'm not super creative, but I wanted. I was like, this is my creative moment. I have to kill it with this.
Right.
So I want. Yeah, I wanted a language that can kind of, people like the brand, but ask me the question, what does Farah mean, right? So that was my purpose behind it. So I went with the word phila, which is Greek, we know means love. And then in Romans, terra, meaning earth. So I took the P-H-E from, uh, no, PH from phila, and then terra, E-R-E from earth, and combining that, making the love of earth, but in two different languages. So you have Greek, which is half of a word, and then you have Roman, which is half of the word. And that's my only creative moment. And I know it's complicated, but I am
Yeah.
proud of it. And
Oh,
everyone's gonna be confused. And yeah,
I know that. I know Terra means Earth because I know that from somewhere, and that is a great creativity that you apply. It gives you Terra really. I don't know. It's something about the word, and then I think it goes very hand in hand with your specific cleaning supplies as well as your products, as well as the main purpose, which is sustainability. I think Farah is very. It's a good choice of word. It's a great word choice. I
thank
think you
you. I'll
were
take it.
spot on with that for sure.
Yeah. It took me I think it took me 3 days to come up with that. My sister, and who's my co-founder and the designer, sent me like a bunch of names, and I was like, yeah, no. I will come up with the name myself, and I kind of sent them that. I sent them three options. I forgot what the other two were, but they liked fair. They were like, "Oh, you did your best work with this one," and we kind of ran with it. So, but it was fun. It was really fun. I'm glad that I'm at a place where you have like an idea, and to take ideation into like an actual tangible thing that you can pass on to another person is not easy. But I recommend, I mean, for whoever's gonna watch this, and people that may have like that are already entrepreneurs, and maybe some that are not, if you have an idea and you want to go a little crazy and try to make it happen, I'll say please, um don't stop yourself. Like, go ahead and do it. It teaches you a lot about yourself. You learn so much, and you go back to learning who you really are in your core, kind of how we talked about, because you're gonna have opportunities to make a lot of shortcuts making a product. There's gonna be a lot of opportunity to make a lot of shortcuts, and you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, do I want to take the shortcut, or do I want to pick patience, or do I want to pick the long road? And do I want to just kind of, like I've told you, I do this full time, and this is what I'm doing. It's like I'm picking the long road, and I'm hoping the long road takes me. And if even if it doesn't take me to like a mountain of dollars, I'm gonna be okay with the fact that I picked the long road, and it was in my terms, and I went with my values, and all that stuff. So yeah, without saying too much. Yeah.
I hope it's going to be a fruitful journey for you. About taking the long road. It's usually uh, you reap the benefits and you get the fruits of your labor for sure. Um, I know it's a very proud moment that I, I also have a personal podcast that I started. I did put a decent amount of thought into it. This is not my personal one. This is my
Okay.
company's podcast. I still built this podcast from the ground up, and I'm very, very proud of it. I have a personal one as well, in which I do face to face episodes with guests. I was born in Pakistan, so whenever I go to Pakistan, I do it. I do it with my guests. I bring them on the show.
Awesome.
I picked a name and then I went with it. I mean, it's the product that I offer is not tangible. You just view it, but I'm still able to resonate in some way, shape, or form, and I'm really proud of it. So speaking of being proud, what has been your proudest moment of Phera so far? I know you haven't launched it. By the way, do you have a?
Yes.
Also, let me know what is the tentative date when you're going to launch Phera.
So right after the Kickstarter, so it's gonna be end of November is when Fair is gonna be actually open. So I'll say actually early December because end of November, early December. So
Wait,
first week of December, definitely. Yeah, definitely look for us there. And so my proudest moment was I believe two things. Like when you grow up with um like my dad is very like a stoic man and he's very loud and set in his ways. And I so there's two of them. And I'm just gonna go ahead and share if that's okay.
yes.
But I was going to school to for engineering and I ended up dropping out and then got into finance because my dad kind of works in finance. My grandpa was actually a professor in university, like in finance. So that was like, you can kind of see a path and then life happens and then I'm doing this business. And in the way of love, when you have like an immigrant father who's like an African is set in his way, he wasn't seeing the light at the end of a tunnel. He was not seeing it at all for me, and kind of telling me it's like, yo, like you, oh man, you gotta figure your life out. Yeah. What is going on? And literally a couple weeks ago, he wrote a check for the business. He was like, I want to be able to. It's not a lot. It wasn't crazy amount of money, but he was like, I want to invest in you because I can now see what you're doing. And as your dad, I want to be able to sow a little bit of money into it. So that was like just internally, I started the cleaning business as a family business, and to have my family kind of buy in and now start believing in what's going around and kind of seeing the light at the end of the
That
tunnel.
was Dust and Sweep. Your dad invested in Dust and Sweep.
No, no, no. My dad, I just invested in Pharaoh.
Nice. And it's such a great thing. Your father invests in your business. That's a proud moment. I mean, I
It
would be
is.
proud too.
Yeah, it is. And to be able to be like, I know how he thinks, and for him to be able to be like, oh, I guess he kind of knew what he was doing. He didn't say that in a many words, but you know when you have those parents where they look at you with a proud look at you, like, yeah, I understand
Yeah.
everything you're saying. Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
I
have
can
to
see
say a word.
father being a stoic man, pretty serious in his life, pretty
Yeah,
focused, and then when a man like that is like, hey, listen, I want to see what you're all about. I want to put some of my money in your business, especially for your father. Very proud moment.
yeah. And then the other one was and I believe he was like, before I go into that, I think, and I've just given my sister the check. I think the check was only like $1,000, but that's still like for him to be able to do that. And from the background that we have is like not really having much for him to be able to take that. And it's like, okay, that's kind of a gesture that says more than just what the amount is. And then, number two was yesterday at a photo shoot. We had friends over. We had my sister, and we're kind of just doing a photo shoot and kind of going around things, and to kind of see something. Because when I started this, I was in a very dark place in my life, and the only friend I had was my laptop, right? It was, I woke up in the morning, I went cleaning homes. I got back home, and my only friend was my laptop. And I was doing research on ingredients. I was reading about things, and I just wanted something to keep me going. And to see that out of that dark hole when my only friend was my laptop, and fast forward 1 or 2 years, 1 year later, and you're able to see people around the kitchen laughing and taking pictures of something that you thought about at that moment, and it's kind of coming together. That was like, I took it back and I was like, yo, this thing is really happening. Um, like, I'm the one making it happen. And obviously my sister being my co-founder, working with me like side by side. But that was the other moment that really kind of struck me, and it was yesterday.
I'm so glad that when your friends and family they believe in you, and it's a very proud moment. And I believe that moments like these give you they give you the motivation to work hard, uh work hard and work towards your goal. It gives you hope as well that, hey, listen, my friends and family are with me, as opposed to them not believing in you. But yeah, I think that's a very proud moment. And I think your Kickstarter is I'm looking at your website right now, and your Kickstarter is on the website for the reservation for $1 for the reservation, and then you'll secure 40% off your first Phera order. But is there a Kickstarter link as well?
So the Kickstarter, like we said, will go up because we have to be able to put in all those assets that we took yesterday. So it is not up yet, but as of October 28th, the Kickstarter will be up, and I would make sure you have it to be able to share it. And I
Yes.
also wanted to, yeah, I wanted to do something if that's okay. Let me grab it. Um, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but and we can kind of get on a phone call after this and brainstorm it. But I want to give one of my boxes to one of your viewers. Um, and we're gonna figure out a way to like see who. Yeah, we want to like, let's figure out a fun way to see like who wins it. So maybe have like a comment or something. You can pick
Yeah.
someone or whatnot, and then we can
Yeah.
mail it out to. And then we can schedule that for sometime like by the end of the month, or like in or after like the video comes out or something, you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
But
that's
I want to,
so exciting. That's super
yeah,
exciting.
we
Thank you
get
so much,
the all purpose hand wash, laundry detergent, thank you card, everything. I want to be able to give to
Aaron.
one of your
All the
viewers, so
works.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, when this episode comes out, I'll definitely let you know. I will share this episode with you as well, and then once it comes out, we'll kind of do a raffle or something
yeah,
of that nature, and then we'll
yeah,
mail it
let's
out.
do it. Let's have fun with it. We'll figure out a way to pick someone, and hopefully we send it to someone who appreciates it, and we're able to make their life a little bit better. I really want to do it, so let's do it.
Yeah, I really want it to be me, but I'm gonna be selfless. I'm gonna be very selfless, and I'm gonna do
That's
a
who you are at your core, I guess, a selfless
yeah.
person.
Yeah, yes, yes. There you go. That I am a selfless person. Actually, I try to be as less selfish as possible because I do believe in karma at some point, and I'm like, you know what?
That's
It's
good.
snoop around and it does bite you back if you don't use
Yeah,
it correctly.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, it's still you're still helping yourself, right? Even if
yeah,
you're selfless, you're still in. For me, at least, I don't know about other people. Maybe people are selfless just for the sake of being selfless, is for not getting any returns out of it. I do it because I want a return out of my selflessness.
yeah.
Yes.
No, that is definitely and if, with you being upfront about it, like there's nothing wrong with that at all. I believe that what goes around comes around. And I have like, I was telling one of my friends is like, I used to work somewhere where there was this kid who just wasn't good at the job, but I was nice to him, right? And then he left and he went in a different industry and he did great, and I never knew. And then when I went to that to apply for a job, he was there like boss man. And then when he saw me, he's like you have come on. And that just remind me of like stuff where it's like, and you also never know who's gonna be that person. So just being able to be selfless and being nice to everybody, because that's what life is around. Like I'm good to you, you're good to me. I never know when I'm gonna run into you again. Like, yeah, here we're talking on a video, but one of these days I might run into you 10 years down the road, and it's good to be able to be like, he's a good guy. Let me help him out. Or it's same for you. Like, oh, let me help Michelle out. So yeah.
Michelle, let's see the contents of the packages so for our viewers. Let's see what the raffle is going to be about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna get a laundry detergent from Phera. It comes with our branded spoon. So since it's powder, you're able to scoop it out. You're gonna get a. Do you have a question before?
No, I say not eat it. For with the spoon, do not eat it. For the
Yeah,
viewers,
yeah.
do
Do
not
not
eat it.
eat it. It's meant
Yes,
for laundry.
it's a spoon.
And
Put it
then
in your washing machine.
yeah, and then we have our
Spray bottle.
aluminum bottle, which is we yeah, it is aluminum. We didn't go with glass because glass can break, and we also didn't go with plastic like other brand because plastic is still plastic, and we wanted to stay away from that. Um, you get our beautiful looking um also aluminum bottle hand soap, looks really nice, and then you get 90 days worth of refills. You get four.
Oh, Lord!
Yep. And then in the
Wow.
bag,
Did Maya do that packaging as well?
yeah, Maya did it. Yeah, Maya did it.
Packaging. Check us
Yeah,
out.
and then in the back, we have a kind of design where it tells you like you have colloidal oatmeal, you have, um, orange peel powder, what it does, like what each ingredient kind of does in the formula. And then you also have the green one for the hand wash, but different colors for different stuff. So 90 days refill on all purpose cleaner. So for about 3 months, you're not gonna need to go buy another cleaner. Hand wash, 90-day refill, about 3 months, and then you get about 80 loads worth of laundry with this. So 80 loads of laundry, and the best thing about all this, no plastic. For about 90 days, you're not gonna contribute to hurting the planet, and then you're gonna have safe ingredients in your home. So yeah.
So 80 loads of detergent, 90 days worth of uh, all-purpose cleaner, and then you have a hand wash. You get aluminum bottle
Yes.
with a sprayer, and you get another bottle for the hand wash, a hand wash pump with the pump as well.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Nice.
all purpose hand wash, 90-day refills, and then 80 loads worth of laundry. And you know what? I don't have it with me here. I think it's in the other room. But if we do, by the time we figure it out, I'm gonna throw in some wall dryer balls as well. And they're our own wall dryer balls. They're branded. It's like those the wall balls that they use like to dry clothes with. Um, I can have someone bring it to me, but yeah, let me see. Um, yeah, but I'll
Uh,
throw that in as well with when
Perfect.
someone wins and they'll
Speaking of
have it.
that, Michelle, how challenging was the packaging? Because you did say that you were on Maya's butt the whole time, and you were like, you know what, I I don't like this, I don't. And then she was very calm and she was very composed with you. What challenges did you face in your packaging as well? What kind of challenges were there? I'd like to know if
Uh,
challenges did half price packaging solve for you.
um, so I think the one thing is we wanted to truly make sure that our packaging were compostable. That what we were saying is actually excuse me. My voice has been beating down since yesterday at the photo shoot.
I could tell
So
you've been
I'm
talking
like,
a lot.
yeah. Yeah, I've been talking since like for 2 days straight. But So that was number one. Number two was we wanted to be able to be attractive enough for someone um, to be able to leave us in like a countertop and uh, to not, because some of the products I just now we're starting to see like a little bit aesthetic. We wanted to be minimalist with our branding. But we also wanted to be able to say who we were. So that's a challenge when you're trying to be minimalist, and then sizing of each boxes and stuff like that. And I'm talking strictly from a guy who sold insurance. I did not know like what a 12-inch box look like. Yeah, I know what 12-inch looks like, but I'm like, when you say 8x4, like what is it? Like I didn't know that. I knew how to sell insurance, and that was it. And I was good at that. So when I come in this word, it's like I know nothing of what she's telling me. And I'm trying to communicate a message to her, and she's like, who's this guy that contradict that he's like just saying the opposite of everything I'm saying when I'm telling him that this is right. And I'm like, no, I need to see samples, examples. Like it was just like constantly me being on her. But she handled it very graceful. She taught me a lot of things. If I'm able to speak about packaging, if I'm able to look up certification for packaging, if I'm able to know measurements, if I'm
Why
able
don't
to know what
why don't you just forget about Phera? Come work with us.
Hey, at this point, I'll take a pass on that. I like what I'm doing now. But she taught me all that stuff in like 6 months, right? And then we
Yeah.
finally got to a point where it's like, oh, I understand what she's saying, and now I can communicate, and then we can be on the same page. And for her to not be like, yo, it's been 3 months and you haven't bought a single box, and all you say is words, please stop calling me. For her to not say that, for it to be like, you have an idea, and I want to help you bring it to life. I think those were some of the great challenges we had, and I'm glad we went over it. And I'm
Yeah.
glad I learned what I've learned, and it was completely amazing. So yeah.
I'm glad she solved them for you. She's so great. She's very knowledgeable, Maya. She's a great saleswoman. She knows her stuff. I learned a lot from her. I'm not in sales, kind of am, but I still have my own share. I have my own share of sales. I do my some of my sales as well. I do have some of my clients, but not at the scale of Maya or someone else on our sales team. I work remotely as well. Um, so Maya works out of Chicago. I work out of Boston. I do visit Chicago sometimes, but I
Yes.
usually work from home. But yeah, I do some sales, but I'm glad she sorted it all out for you, and I commend her for being very patient because that's what a great salesman does. In this case, she does what was needed to be done, and she made it happen. And by the looks of it, it looks super awesome. The
Yeah,
packaging is super minimalistic, and it definitely matches the essence of your products. And I think
it does.
hats off to Maya for that, and hats off to you for working with us. Sometimes a lot of clients it's not the client's job to be that involved with us, but you were because it shows how much you value your time and your energy and your company. And I think you did a great job by sticking with us, and hope our relationship stays like that for as long as Farah is. And I hope Farah has a long life, and I hope that the launch is smooth. You know what I'm saying? I just want the launch to be super smooth.
It
The,
will. It will. I am like 1,000%
me too.
convinced that it will. And even like if a hurdle does happen or something does happen, for me, it's still because one thing I'm learning as like running a company is those things that do happen and those hurdles in the road, that's what makes it fun, because sometimes you kind of delegate and then you hire people to do this and this, and you're like, well, I have 2 hours. What do I do? And you look forward to like the next problem to solve. So even if we do hit some hurdles, like once you start operating for a while and you like nothing is shaking, you like, what's wrong? I want a little bit of shake, a little bit of fires to put out. That's what keeps me alive. Yeah. 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 And my best quote is always like, when a problem comes up, I'm like, hello, my old friend, where have you been? And it's like, at this point, it's like, I'm definitely okay. And I'm 1000% in the lunch will go great. I can't wait to reach some families. Our goal is to be able to be in a million household by the end of 2027. And I believe that we can definitely be in a million household by the end of 2027. And the mission that we have and every work that we've put in, we definitely going to be able to communicate that and to show that we can bring value into people's home with just a cleaning products. And I can't wait to see it all come together.
Yeah. I hope you achieve that. I hope you achieve all your other uh, goals as well, such as I don't know if you want it to be on store shelves. I know you want it to be online in the beginning, but I don't know how you feel about that. But if you do want it to be on store shelves, I hope you get the shelf space as well. I
Thank
hope
you.
you influencers you want to work with. Just a couple of things off my head. TikTok Shop is a good
We'll
place.
be there.
Of course, your
We'll
own
be there.
website. Of course, your own website, and then Instagram and
Yes.
Amazon and uh, I think these are the only main retailers coming to my mind. But
Yeah. So we'll launch around all three of those major platforms. So main website will be through Shopify and we'll be connected with Amazon and TikTok Shop and eventually the goal is for us to control distribution in the beginning. So online first. And the goal with that is not like we're not scared to go into um to um to like a store, yeah, and like another distribution. But our goal is to learn as much as we can from the people that do decide to spend their hard-earned money with us. So we'll be able to like have a line of communication with them instead of just them walking into like a Target or Kroger and like grabbing it off the shelf. We want the first couple years of us to just have that line of communication where they can come to us, we can go to them with questions and feedbacks on how we can get better and how we can come as a unit and as a community to make a better product for everybody else. That's really important for us. So in the beginning, we'll be highly focused on being online and controlling our distribution ourselves and kind of doing it that way.
perfect. Yeah, I think great game plan you got there, Miche. Uh, Miche, last question I want to ask you, and then I want to wrap it up. I want to say you already touched a little bit on this. So, somebody who's starting off, I always ask my guests that somebody who's starting off in the industry, in your specific industry, the cleaning supply industry, or even in the organic industry, the fragrance industry, still similar. What advice would you like to give to somebody who's young and somebody who's up and coming, somebody who's not even young, somebody who's older or your age, but somebody who's starting off? And I believe you are also in that phase. You can go a little bit more specific, or you can stay on the surface level. What would you like to tell him or her?
My one thing will just be like 1000% be sure that this is what you want to do and be able to tie either find purpose within it or tie your purpose within it, so that you can kind of keep going and then don't give up, which is like, the vanilla advice that everybody gives, but it's really important.
Advice,
Yeah, don't
but it's true
like
though.
the older I've gotten and I like listen to some of the vanilla advice that we get, I'm like, they're so true. We just hear them all the time, but they're so true. Like, don't give up. And then the most important thing is do research. Do research. make your at this point, we can't go into an archive and pull things because it's just how life is now. But make your laptop your best friend when you're having coffee. Do the research and then try to see how can I be better, because the game is value, right? It's perceived value. Someone goes buy a Rolex because of the perceived value, and they spend that money because of the value. Or they can just go to Walmart and buy the same stainless watch for $100, but no, they go spend $1,000 with Rolex because of the perceived value. So have the mindset of how can what I'm creating, the idea I have in my head, can add a perceived value into someone and truly delivers that, so that when they have my product in their hands, in their house, or they're wearing it, or they, cologne, putting it on themselves, is that they really feel like they got the value that they spent money on. Um, I think that is very important, is look for ways to, like, how can I give more value than what I'm going to sell this for? If you can get there and you can do the research to make that happen, everything else will be a one battle. You're just gonna like, you're gonna win every battle. It's just everything else becomes easy from that. It's gonna take a long time to figure that out, but that is the lay of the game. Figure out how can I really put value around this. And again, vanilla advice, but it's so true, because there's so many products out there. There's so many things going on out there. You have to truly sit down and be like, how is Michee's idea better than Andrew's idea? I'm just using random names, but it's like, how how can me coming up with this truly makes a difference in someone's life? And how can, when they look at it and they see what I'm talking about, they can see the value that I'm trying to communicate. That is where the difference is. And if you can nail that, and you can nail that, everything else, it's just you know, just a simple game, and you're good to go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, and you talk about just doing the research. It's just that, you know, that boring amount of research that you just sit there
Oh
do,
yeah.
boring, focused, hard work, which nobody wants to do.
No
Okay,
one.
you do it. I know it's dreadful, but just like you said, taking the long road, it does, just like you said, perceived value. You create perceived value through your work. It translates your hard work, your focus, your research translates into work. It translates into perceived value. So it shows that people have worked hard in this. People have devoted their time and energy into a specific industry and specific topic or specific field. So I
Yes.
think you're absolutely spot on with that. That being said, Michelle, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. By the way, Michelle, once we end the show, just keep the app open for a little bit so your part uploads too.
All
Uh,
right.
Room, and then you can keep it on. So, Michee Tshimanga of Phera cleaning supply, which offers organic cleaning supplies as well as sustainable with their packaging and organic with their product. Check them out at Phera.earth on Instagram and Phera.earth website. Instagram and website are literally the same. No .com on the website, no .net, no .gov. It's Phera.earth is the website. Phera.earth. And Phera.earth is Instagram. Check them out. Check out their Kickstarter, which is going to launch on October 28th, you said?
Yes.
October 28th. And it's going to launch. Right now, you can reserve your place for $1, and you can get 40% off the first order of Phera. And my viewers who are watching this, however many you are, we are going to do a raffle with Farah with Michee. He has a box full of Farah goods. The goods are a laundry detergent with 90 days worth of with 80 loads, and then we have a all-purpose cleaner with 90 days worth of refills. We have two bottles. one for a hand wash, and one for a uh, all-purpose cleaner. Also, we also have a hand wash with it, and then Michee is gonna throw in some extra cool stuff in that too. Michee, thank you so much, Mr. Tshimanga, for coming on the show. I appreciate it, and I'll see you, and I'll follow up with you after this. I'll send out an email. I'll tell Maya that the show went awesome, and sir, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, and hope the Kickstarter goes well. And I'm gonna tell my clients all about this right now. The raffle we're gonna. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you. For
No,
some
I appreciate coming on,
yeah.
and like you said, let's stay in touch and let's figure out how we can bless one of your viewers, and then we'll go from there. All right.
Yep.
You have a good one.
Hey, appreciate it, bud.